Austin is the author of The Son of God in Km't.
Not yet.
This
not
book
yet.
stands out.
Not yet. Okay, it's trying to let y'all see who we got on here today already, but not yet. Hi, before we bring on our guest speaker, how y'all doing today? Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to have you guys here. And so listen, do me a favor, guys. As you guys come on in, please go ahead and let us know what city and state you're chiming in from. I see that we have Bruce Hill in the house with New Skills, New You. Welcome in, welcome. Go ahead and put your city and state in the chat. Also, please do us a favor and give us a thumbs up, please, a thumbs up on this video, as well as make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Each and every Wednesday, guys, we bring on some incredible men and women who are impacting the world with their words. Yes, impacting the world. That's what I said, okay? And so I'm so excited because what we have done here is we're bringing on people who are authors, who are speakers, who are coaching, who are doing some tremendous things. And we're so excited because we get to highlight them here on Wealthy Wednesday. Now, let me tell you something. Wealthy Wednesday is not just about money, okay? Because I'm a big believer that, you know, if you don't have wealth in the other areas of your life, then having money doesn't mean anything. Having wealth in your health, your wellness, in your physical fitness, having wealth in your mental fitness, right? Having wealth in your relationships, having wealth in your spirituality, being able to have that type of a balance in your life. Because I know a lot of people that make a lot of money, honey, baby, but baby, they ain't always happy. And so we want to have balance here. And so I'm so excited about our guests that we're going to be bringing on. But before we do that, we got a little commercial to play. So I'm going to go ahead and play one of our commercials and we will be right back. Well, maybe not right now. The commercials ain't playing. Hello, authors. Listen really quick. This is a quick commercial, darling. Listen, if you are an author and you're trying to leverage your book so that you can grow your speaking, coaching, or network marketing business, I have a free training for you. Every Thursday, we have our Book Profits session that you can plug into. This is a free session where I'm literally showing you guys, and I'm live, how to be able to turn your book into at least 3 streams of income. My goal is to show 1,000 authors who want to generate at least $10,000 a month. Some want to do a day, some want to do a week, but at least $10,000 a month, how to be able to work 2 to 4 hours a day and make that happen. But you got to join the session so I can show you our system. Okay, so go to bookprofitssession.com. The worst that can happen is if you don't like it, you got a free training. So register and I will see you guys there. Bye. Yeah, so make sure you guys plug into the Book Profits session. And of course, guys, we have some additional incredible people that we want to connect you to. Listen, if you want to be a part of the Wealthy Wednesday show, also make sure that you learn more about Book Profits Club. And the way that you can learn more about it is by plugging in to the bookprofitssession.com. All right, so shout out to everybody that is here. Again, if you are watching us live, go ahead and let us know what city and state that you're chiming in from. We have Shanita Crafter. Hello, welcome. And definitely make sure that you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Well, listen, I'm not going to hold you guys up because, again, like I stated, we have another incredible young lady that is doing some amazing things, impacting the world with her words. And what I mean by words is your experience, impacting the world with your journey, impacting the world with your knowledge and your wisdom. And so let me go ahead and introduce you to her. All right, let's meet her. Shawnte Austin is the author of The Son of God in Km't. This book stands out as a unique rewrite of the book of Genesis, meticulously crafted and based on 15 years of thorough scientific research and evidence. In addition to her groundbreaking work, she also created a study guide to go along with her book, skillfully presenting the compelling evidence she gathered through her research. Recently, Shawnte took a significant step forward by co-founding a new company called LitCon, along with fellow author and fellow BPC member, Lena Payton-Webb. The company's primary mission is to foster connections among authors and writers, providing them with a collaborative platform to exchange ideas and work together on projects that amplify their collective impact. With her passion for exploring new perspectives and building a community of authors, Shawnte Austin continues to inspire and leave a lasting impression on the literary landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Shawnte Austin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and we are so excited, Shawnte, so excited to have you here as one of our guests with Wealthy Wednesday. Absolutely. So now tell me a little bit. I had to go do my research, y'all, because when I saw the title of her book, The Son of God in Km't, I wanted to, and I hope I'm saying that all the way right, but Km't, I wanted to make sure that I did my research. And as, of course, when I see the word son, and then God, I kind of connected it already. But if you could break it down for us, Shawnte, what is this book about?
So thank you, first of all, for having me. I'm so happy to be here. The book itself is, like you said, a rewrite of Genesis. It primarily focuses on two things: the names that Egyptians had for Jesus. There are several names. A lot of times, history tries to um, leave out the fact that Egyptians worshiped God and Jesus, and that he had many names in many languages, and it was no different for the Egyptians. The bulk of the book is actually about Joseph, the son of Jacob, also known as Israel. Um, it's about his life, and it's also about the Pharaoh who promoted him from the prison and placed him over Egypt. That Pharaoh is not widely known. His name is Akhenaten, and he was actually the husband of the famous Queen Nefertiti. So the book is basically, like you said, a rewrite of Genesis, but it focuses primarily on the relationship that Egyptians had with Jesus and the life and story of Joseph.
Mm, honey, this is good. I am so glad that we're having this conversation on today. But before we dig deeper into this book and really how you came up with the concept, if you could tell us, like, how did you get to where you are today? Tell us a little bit about, I want to get up in your business. I want to get a little bit of the tea. How did you get into this space today of where you are and having these kinds of conversations that I think are so important, especially with us understanding our true history? So tell us a little bit about who Shawnte is.
Well, I was born in Texas. My parents are both retired from the United States Air Force, so I moved around a lot. I'm not really from anywhere. I like to say everywhere, but nowhere. Um, but I lived in Tallahassee. I came here to attend the HBCU FAMU, Florida A&M. Go Rattlers! And that's really where the spark for my love for Egypt and Africa and all of my research began. I didn't, when I came here, based on the way that, um, Hollywood depicts Egyptians, I didn't even know that they were Africans. Some people, many people don't know that they were actually Africans. And when I came here, I found out, that they were Africans of all colors and shades, and it really, it really made me, um, it sparked my hunger for information.
Okay. Well, honey, we got a couple things in common. Number one, I am the child of a United States Air Force, well, both United States Air Force parents. So, hey, what's going on?
Same.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And of course, I went to HBCU as well. So, I love it. Okay, so let's dig into this because honestly, this conversation I think is very important. Before we got on, I was telling you how I have this tattoo on my entire back, and I've always had a connection. Even as a young girl, we both have something in common. We have Ankh tattoos, but I have a big Ankh on my back with even more Egyptian, I would guess you would call it hieroglyphic type art. And I
Right.
connected it with the tree of life because for me, the tree of life is godly and it's highly connected to
Hmm.
me and what I believe that our life is about. And I've always had this indirect connection to Egypt. And so I never understood where that came from. And I'm so happy to hear that you yourself have taken the time to really dig deep to give us more awareness and understanding of what all this means, like what all of the different things meant, or like exactly like who were Egyptians. Now, I didn't know for a fact. I feel like I got some in my blood somewhere, right? I
You
did
never
know,
know.
right? And I knew that we were black, but of course, how we're depicted, it doesn't look. It looks more of a lighter skin, right? And so, first, what I want to say is, what was it that was in you that made you decide that you wanted to dig deeper into understanding this connection? It had to be something that took place. I don't know if it was something in school or something. You know, I always feel like there's always that big paradigm shift where we're like, okay, I want to dig deeper, because you never really hear a lot of Christians also talk about digging deeper into the Egyptian roots and Egyptian history and connecting the two.
Correct. You're absolutely right about that. And I definitely grew up in the church. I don't remember a time not knowing who God was. And it was two things for me. In school, I struggled to understand. I loved going to school. I specifically loved science. And I just always heard about evolution. And then, going to church, we always heard about Adam and Eve. And I would always ask my parents, and they would just tell me to do, what I needed to do to pass my classes, but to understand that what's in the Bible is real. And it just was a struggle for me, for a while. And so um, that was one of the things that made me really read into my Bible. And that was one of the motivations for this project. And then there was a point in time where I was just reading and reading and reading the book of Genesis, and particularly the story of Joseph. And in my spare time, I was just looking. Whenever I started my freshman year in college, I read my African American studies book, and I just felt like I was looking for something, and I just never knew what it was. And I looked for about 5 years, and I just read all of the books that I could get my hands on. And I'm not sure if you've ever been driving somewhere, and it was like a voice, or like the Lord speaks to you and says, don't go your regular way home, turn this way, or stop by the store. And then there ends up being a huge accident the normal way that you go, or if you're held up or something. And it was the same spirit. And it told me that Nefertiti was, her husband was the Pharaoh in the story of Joseph, because his name was left out of Genesis. And when I went to research it, I only knew that Nefertiti was beautiful. I didn't know anything else about her. And sure enough, he was the one and only monotheistic pharaoh in ancient Egyptian history. He once he promoted Joseph to the vizier, which meant that Joseph only the only person that had more power than him in the whole country was Akhenaten and Nefertiti, and so he encouraged Akhenaten to worship God and only God. And Akhenaten changed the entire religion in Egypt. He did not allow people to worship any other god but God. And it's also written in ancient Egyptian history. So those two stories I was able to connect on a timeline, and then I used um, other archaeological evidence and the Bible, and then I also used science, like astronomy and genetics, and um, just all different types of sciences to basically tell its own story. And I used those. I used what each of those agreed on, like everything that the Bible agreed on, and ancient records, and also science. And that's how I was able to come up with the project.
This is so good. First of all, Shawnte, to just even think outside the box in this space and really be willing to dig down deep and do the research as you have done to make those connections. I don't even know if I would have ever even thought about bridging that, but I do see how just certain names that you see in the Bible, it's sometimes like, wait a minute now, this is not just a regular name. It seems as though it might be connected to a culture, right? So I appreciate you for really bringing this awareness. Now, one of the things that we teach here with the Book Prophets Club family is really like leveraging your book and using that book to be able to do other things. So when you decided that you wanted to write this book, what was your vision? Like, what made you say, you know what, I want to write a book so that I can use this to help people to do XYZ? Are you wanting to, show them through events and really just build the bridge? How do you see yourself leveraging this to impact the world?
That's a great question. When I first wrote it, um, I really wrote it because when you look at the schools, our history only goes back to slavery. And if you look at every other country, they all have their history and they know where they come from, with the exception of African American children. And I just wanted them to understand that their history doesn't start with slavery and that it goes back thousands and thousands of years prior to that. And, you know, uh, that's the trauma of slavery. It really does affect our community. And I wanted our people to know um, that we're more than that. And until I joined the Book Prophets Club, I really didn't understand the leverage that I had with my book. And I did have friends tell me that I should do speaking and teachings of the book to explain it, but I just didn't have the courage. I'm not really a public speaker. But just sitting under you this past month, I really have learned so much. And I mean, now I feel more open to speaking and teaching engagements. So I'm looking forward to really anything and anywhere that I can speak and teach.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Shawnte Austin. And listen, we're going to come back to her because she is really giving us some incredible value. And then on the next half, I'm going to have her to talk to us about LitCon and how all of you guys, authors, how you could be a part of it, speakers and coaches, how you could be a part of it. If you just love books, okay, how you can be a part of LitCon. And so we're going to be back, but y'all know we got a commercial to play, so we'll be back. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Taria Vision Avant, and we help speakers, coaches, and network marketers who are authors or future authors learn how to leverage their books to generate over $10,000 plus per month, week, or day. Listen, if you're an author and you want to be plugged into an amazing community, I want to highly recommend you go check out Author All Stars. And for those of you who host conferences, podcasts, things of that nature, and you're looking for some dope people to interview, authorallstars.com. If you also want to find out about our amazing annual magazine, authorallstars.com. Go head over to the website once we are done with this interview. Check it out. Trust me, there's a lot to do there. You can also see all of the replays from our Wealthy Wednesdays there as well. So head over to, authorallstars.com. We'll see you guys over there. Deuces. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Shawnte Austin. Okay, so I'm going to bring her back in a minute. She is the author of The Son of God in Km't, and we are having some really great conversation. But y'all, I want y'all to give her you got to give her a big applause, okay? We got to give her a big welcome, because when I bring her back on, we're also going to talk about this incredible company that she had started called LitCon and what that's all about. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Shawnte Austin. So again, welcome back Shawnte, and we appreciate you for being here. And one thing that I love so much about what we're doing here with Wealthy Wednesday, like I always share, we want to be able to impact the world with our words, right? And we use that with our books, and of course, expanding. And so I love to hear when I get folks that say, because I'm a former introvert that's learned how to be an extrovert in certain situations. Now I can't shut up. But I love to hear when people are learning how to really take their books and use it for their purpose and to allow themselves to be empowered. But now you've come up with an incredible concept where you and one of our fellow BPC members, Lena Payton-Webb, you guys have put together this amazing program, or I will say just movement, not program, but a movement called LitCon. So could you tell us a little bit about what LitCon is all about and how did you guys come up with this idea?
Um, LitCon almost just um, so first of all, the name was thought of by our co-founder Lena Payton-Webb. She's amazing. She is also an author, and she just has so much experience. And so we were trying to put together a small event, and it just kind of grew from we just were coming together with ideas about what we were looking for LitCon, and it really just blossomed from a small a small expo where authors are there presenting their are selling their books and autographing them on the spot for their readers, and it grew into a full weekend where we'll start the first event will be a writer symposium, and we'll teach authors how to organize their thoughts and how to execute their projects and give them information on publishing and tips on publishing. And then the expo itself, like I said, um, it's going to be tons of authors there signing their books. There's going to be speakers, sponsors, food, and it's going to be a family event.
Well, listen, I'm so excited because I'm actually going to be there, and I know we have a lot of BPC members that are going to be in the house. And thank you. Right here with Book Profits Club, our goal is to be able to give the platform to authors because so many authors they're putting together these amazing pieces of work. Like you said, 15 years of research. So this is not like with your book something that you just came up with overnight. It's something that you've been researching, you've been working hard on. And many times we put these books together and we don't really have those platforms that allow us to be able to get that proper exposure. So anytime I see someone putting together events like this, I absolutely love it. And I know that we're going to be heavy in the house with BPC at LitCon. So tell us, how can someone actually register and be a part of this? And are there different tiers? Like, what if somebody just wants to come? How does that all work?
So it's free for the public. You can go to litcon.org. That's LITCON.org. You can sign up for information where you get on the email list, and then we inform you of events in your area, and just keep you abreast on what's going on with LitCon. You can also register for our next event, and then you can also see all of our events and our dates as well, and just get all the information. There's sponsorship information on there as well. So litcon.org.
Well, listen, I plan on making sure I drop my sponsorship in because I want to be a part of LitCon. And I know BPC wants to be a part of LitCon. So I cannot wait to be there and be able to really just, again, impact the world with our words. Listen, I know that you are new to the BPC family, but I always got to do this shameless plug, child. What would you say that you love most about being in Book Profits Club?
Just everything I've learned. I mean, I went from being an introvert and pretty timid, and to just sitting under you guys and learning everything. It just gave me confidence to understand the power that I have with my project, and um, it also I also gained a lot of knowledge, the connections, the camaraderie. It feels almost like having an extended family, and it's just amazing to be celebrated. And I would encourage any and everybody, if even if you don't have a book out yet, just join, and while you're writing your book, and just learn everything you can, because knowledge is definitely power.
Amen to that. Knowledge is absolutely power. And I'm gonna when I get ready to close out, I definitely want to give some additional tips just because I know that you're new, and for anybody that is new in the space of writing a book and you're trying to figure out how to turn that into multiple streams. So I'm going to throw that in at the end, but I want to allow you, Shawnte, to leave any last imparting words, anything that you want to share, maybe something that you didn't get a chance to talk about with any of our viewers, and yeah, hook them up with something. What you got?
I just want to encourage people that, if they're going to read my book, to make sure that they read both books and read every word. I always say, like, regarding my book, that a jury in a trial never comes to a conclusion without getting all of the evidence. So just read both books and digest it and study it and receive it. That's all.
Amen to that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible, incredible interview with Shawnte. And y'all make sure y'all pull up to LitCon. I'm going to be there. I know that we're going to have a lot of Book Prophets Club members there. But, as she was speaking, one of the things that I love so much, because even with someone that's brand new in the space of entrepreneurship, someone that's new in the space of speaking, and maybe you don't really necessarily see yourself in the coaching world, just her alone, I was sitting here coming up with so many ideas. And honestly, guys, that's how God deposits on me. That's where my gift is. And so, for example, we're talking about the connection to Egypt, right? Egyptian history. And so, as I was telling her, I've got these tattoos all on my back, I got tattoos on my leg. And, I was so excited. I was supposed to be going to Egypt a couple years ago, but I didn't get a chance. But imagine being able to create additional merchandise that can go along with your book. Merchandise where you might be able to find items or even create custom items that based upon your research that individuals used back in those days. Whether it be a cross, an ankh, explaining the power of the ankh. I have this ankh that came from Egypt that I have posted up in my house. But those different things, and giving people the education and understanding. But these are ways that you can literally take a book that's providing value in history and create products from that history. Products that you can actually sell, just like they do with the Bible, right? You go to churches, you go to some churches, they sell everything in that church, in that bookstore, from the Bible to the cross to the holy water to the coffee cup, right? And so you guys out there that are authors and you're trying to figure out, how can I take my book and turn it into multiple streams of income? You can turn it into multiple streams of income with products. You can turn it into multiple streams of income with events. Might even do a combination. Hey, let's have some Bible study and connect it to the words. And on top of that, it comes with a dinner. And so there's so many, you charge for that though. The Bible study's free, the food ain't, right? Okay, hello. And so there's so many different ways, guys, that you can leverage your book to be able to build more exposure. And I believe that in everything that we're called to do, if God has truly called us to do it, then we should also be able to profit, because money was made up by man. God provides us with opportunities to live the life that we deserve. And I'm going to tell you, some of us put money on a pedestal that we should be putting our time, experience, being able to put our wisdom on, being able to put the blessing of who it is that we are today. So use those books to build those multiple streams. Why? Because you need it, okay? In order to grow your business, in order to market yourself, it's going to cost money. In order to get in front of more people, it's going to cost money. So learn how to turn those books into multiple streams of income. And if you want to know more about that, you need to register. Okay, go to bookprofitssession.com. But most importantly, make sure that you plug in every Wednesday, baby. Every Wednesday. Because every Wednesday we bring on another guest that is impacting the world with their words. I don't know about you, but I would be running over to litcon.com, tagging anyone that I know, and you do not have to be in Florida to come, because I don't live in Florida. I live in Texas. And wherever else they're going to be, I'm pulling up, okay? So you don't have to be in Florida to pull up. You don't have to be even in the United States. I've had some people in Nigeria and some people in other countries in Europe asking, hey, can we come to some of y'all events? Absolutely. Come. So go to litcon.org. I hope I didn't say .com, but litcon.org, O-R-G. Make sure you register, and make sure you let Shawnte or Lena know that you saw them here on Wealthy Wednesday. Y'all, that's today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you guys next week for another show. Remember, same time, same place. Pull up on us.